Welcome back to the 2018 ASANA Softball World Series. We have the D Division Championship game. This is DC Swag against Austin, Texas, Cleats and Cleavage. This is for the D Division Championship. I'm Roman Jimenez from the Cloud Sports Network. With me in the booth is my broadcast partner, Joel Trambley. And today's games are brought to you by Dirt Athletics, your premier choice for event apparel, a key ASANA partner for 11 years. Find out your swag at facebook.com/dirtathletics. So Cleats and Cleavage is the visiting team. They'll come up to the plate, and that is Barron, who takes a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's John Bowders behind home plate calling the balls and strikes for this championship game. Called that ball illegal, but if you're going to swing at it, it's live, and she swings and sends it foul. So that is a K for the first out. And the first strikeout today is brought to you by 100% Bullyproof. So if you've ever been the victim of bullying, or whether it was by family, at school, or at work, find out how you can transform your thoughts and actions to strike out your bullied spirit. Find out more at 100%bully-proof.com. So we're off to a fast start here. 1 out. And that brings up Miranda as she takes a ball on the outside. It was also looked a little bit short, Joel, there. What did you think?
I agree with you. I think it was a little bit short.
And that pitch is called illegal. Didn't quite reach the threshold. Joel, talk to us about that. What is the height requirement?
Yeah, for those just joining us for this game, the ball has to be at least 6 feet high and no higher than 12 feet. And so there's no markers out there for that, so it's sort of within the ump's discretion to figure that out. But they will put their arm out straight, as he just did, if the pitch is illegal. And that means it's going to be a ball as long as you don't swing at it. But if you do, it's a striker in play.
So a 1-out walk there to Miranda, and that'll bring up Staley Melnick. Sorry about that. Put an N in the wrong half of the hyphenated name. Staley Melnick will come up. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. That was a beautiful pitch.
Beautiful pitch.
DC Swag is the home team. There's a fly ball in the left field. And that ball will touch the ground as Miranda's able to get to second, and Staley Melnick gets aboard with a fly ball single to left field. Little duck snort out there, or what we call a Texas leaguer.
And that ball just seemed to stick in the grass. And if you're watching now, you might have no idea, but we had a rain delay in the last game, so the outfield for sure is wet, and the infield, which is turf, is drying up but might still have a little dampness to it.
Driver Perez takes a ball outside, batting from the left side with 2 on and 1 out. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, who kind of goes down to her knees to get the out. Is able to stop the ball, tosses it over to shortstop, who was covering for the out at second. That is a forced play. Miranda will still make it to third. Driver Perez is safe at first on the fielder's choice, but out number 2 is recorded by Staley Melnick on that forced play, and that'll bring up Garcia Valerio. She takes inside. 2 balls and 1 strike, and runners at the corners. That is short, so the count goes 3 balls and 1 strike. And that one too is short, so now we've loaded the bases. Driver Perez heads to second. Miranda will stay put at third base, and Garcia Valerio will earn a walk, getting all the way over to first. So now we've got bases loaded. It is full of cleats and cleavage as Garcia Zeller comes to the plate. These teams had a rain delay, like you were saying, so they were kind of hanging around for a while watching an epic B Division championship game that's going on another field as the North Dakota team was able to beat San Diego and force an if game. So we'll bring you updates on that once it gets started. But for now, we've got a D Division championship game and a nice stop by the shortstop, who ranges over and does just get the out at third. Joel, I couldn't see from here. Was it a tag play or did you get the force?
It looked to me like she got up, caught that high throw, but came down off the bag and was able to apply the tag.
That's what it looked like to me, too. She kind of had to jump up there, wasn't near the base when she came down, and had the presence of mind to bring the glove down to get the sliding runner into it, and kind of looked like she slid into the tag.
And both grabs on that play were great, and you're going to see what we saw even in the B division in the last game. You might see a few throws fly when they come off that wet turf or that wet grass.
So the very rare fielder's choice 6'5" prevents any runs from scoring there. So Cleats and Cleavage will take the field in an attempt to hold it. When they come back in the top of the second, it'll be Bartholic, Hernandez, and Saladin. But in the meantime, we've got DC Swag coming up. And that'll be Tiemann, Walker, Leahy, and Jones. That's Heather Walker Leahy. We've got two of them here in this division. So this is the team, if I remember correctly, we've got some twins on this team. We've got a couple of married couples.
And looking out there right now, we mentioned the weather from before, but there is a little sun. It's right overhead, so could be a little bit of a problem if you have to look up into it maybe from left field. And looking at the flags on the outfield fence, it doesn't look like there's much wind at all at this point.
Yeah, no, it looks like the wind has died down, and so we're just kind of got this little high pressure system right up above us, so we may not see any more rain, knock on wood. There are people in the studio who actually just did knock on wood. No one more so than our Chief Technology Officer and Director, Mitch, who is tired of running out in the rain getting cameras. So Tiemann takes the ball. Hits a ground ball right up the middle to the second baseman, who ranges far over to her right to get that ball. Makes a throw, strong throw over to first. And it looks like we have an out recorded. That was a beautiful play. That second baseman really showed a lot of range there, as Tiemann is out on the play that goes 4-3.
And a strong arm by the second baseman and a good stretch at first to stay on that bag.
First base is playing a little bit off the bag here, so she had to get over there. Here's a fly ball to the left center field. And look at that right center field mechanic. Did you see that, Joel? She just ran over there to back that play up. No need for it, but she was right there as Walker Leahy flies out to left center.
And that's where you got to be, and that's the kind of fundamentals you're going to see in this World Series. Good play, thoughtful play all the time.
That'll bring up Jones. And again, this is the D Division Championship.
And if you're using that fence to judge how deep that ball was, be a little careful, because that fence is 355, and usually if you're watching softball, actually, it's more like 300.
There's a line drive out to left center field, and Jones is going to be safe with a 2-out single. That'll bring up Krasinski, and then if the inning continues, Garcia.
And Roman, you mentioned the if game in the B division. So what happens in a double elimination tournament is that one of these teams, in this case for D, Cleats and Briefs, comes through unscathed with no losses. So to lose, they have to be beaten twice. Cleats and Cleavage, sorry.
I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but it is not Cleats and Briefs. It is.
It is not, and that's my apology. There is an event called that is on my brain right now.
It's just a couple of days away, actually, or a week or two away, right?
A week or two away.
That's an event in San Diego for that Autumn Classic tournament that they have, where if the team that sends a representative who wins that gets an automatic entry into next year for free. We won it last year, the team that I coach, thanks to Gio Smith, who was twerking his way into a free admission for us. So that's what Joel's mind is thinking about. So Jones is at second, Krasinski's at first, and that is Garcia. Takes a ball, 3 balls, and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And a ball that was short there. So Jones moves to third, Krasinski to second, and Garcia will take first on the walk. That'll bring up Peterson. And if Peterson gets on, that'll bring Cassandra Walker-Leahy up. Right now, with the bases full of swag, Peterson wants to get a hit here to break this tie ball game. She sends a fly ball into right field. That looks like it's going to be shallow. Will it be caught? Yes, it will, and that'll be the third out. So opportunity lost here as the bases were loaded with 2 outs and runners going on contact. But a good solid play from the right fielder for cleats and cleavage. And we've got our third out recorded on the play that goes F10. So we'll have Cassandra Walker-Levy coming up, and then Walker, and then Galvis when we head to the bottom of the second inning. But now as we head into the top of the first, it'll be Bartholic for cleats and cleavage, along with Hernandez and then Saladin. And then maybe the best name of the tournament so far, Schlumpberger.
Schlumpberger.
Love it.
A little bit of noise from both teams in that first inning, but no runs on the board.
Yeah, we had lots of threats. Both teams actually loaded the bases there. And as the sun peeks out from behind the clouds, it's starting to get hot out there. So Bartholic will come in, batting from the left side. You see the infield shift over there. Swings and a miss there. Good pitch.
She was trying to get that ball to the fence.
That sun could play havoc for the outfielders as they're going to be looking directly into it. We'll see if that becomes a factor. Not there as we get the big strikeout to lead it off from the pitcher. There's a out number 1.
And remember here that we start in ASANA with the 1-1 count. So you start with a strike on you. So a strike, a foul ball, or 2 foul balls, and that's a strikeout.
Hernandez now steps in from the right side, and the infield kind of goes back to normal. Shortstop didn't move very much. She's sort of playing Hernandez to kind of hit up the middle. We'll see if she does. She does, but over the head of the shortstop, so there's a base hit. 1 out single. So cleats and cleavage have been playing together for about 2 years. There's never been a single argument or disagreement among us. And if someone's having an off day, well, there's just 9 girls on the field to pick them up. And that's a hard ball right off the pitcher. That was a hard shot. Pitcher who's not wearing a face mask there.
Looks like it got her right in the lower leg. Those can hurt, but shins are pretty tough even without guards on them. She's right back out there to the pitching line.
A Schinberger as Schlumpberger comes into the line. So, folks, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I can only be who I am as we have runners at first and second, and Schlumpberger comes up from the left side. Hits a ground ball to first. Up with it, fires a strike over to second. No return throw back to first. They're going to be happy for the out. That forces Saladin. So Schlumberger hits into the fielder's choice. Safe at first, but Saladin is out at second, and Hernandez will get to third. And that'll bring up Goins.
And that was a good play to get the runner at second. A lot of first basemen would have just run that over and gotten the out at first and not had to force the second. So nice job over there.
And Goins swings and misses. So with that sun coming out, now the moisture on the field begins to evaporate, and that just creates more humidity. Here's a ground ball to second. She's going to have to fire it quickly to first, and she does. She gets the out of Goins going to third as she hits it into the play that goes 4-3. So that is 3 outs there. We'll come back with Bega and then Barron and Miranda when Cleats and Cleavage comes back to the field. But for now, as we head into the bottom half of the second, it'll be Walker Leahy, that's Cassandra, and then Walker and Galvis heading in to the bottom of the second. And this transition is brought to you by Coyote Ugly Saloon. Located in the historic French Quarter, the Coyote Ugly Saloon is where you want to go to party like a coyote. Let's get wild and let's get ugly at Coyote Ugly, 225 North Peters Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. And when a run scored, it'll be brought to you by PTS Logistics, an Atlanta-based third-party logistics provider specializing in white glove delivery service, custom fulfillment, long and short-term warehousing, and dry ice sales and distribution. Find out more at pts-ga.com. That'll bring up Cassandra Walker-Leahy, who just does miss that pitch, does. And John Bowders behind the plate calls that a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. That ball curves back over this time enough to catch the plate, and we've got 2 balls and 2 strikes. So from our vantage point, I don't know if you can see it at home, but that ball is curving right out of the hand of that pitcher. And a hard shot right to the shortstop Garcia.
And the pitcher's coming at the plate from the far side of that pitching line. And that's something we've noticed about this field is most fields you play on have a much smaller pitching rubber, but the umpires are letting them have this whole strip so they can create some interesting angles coming from either side.
That'll bring up Callista Walker. Nobody on, 1 out. Ground ball to third. She's up with it and fires a strike across the diamond to first, but it gets away just a little over the head. Second baseman was over there to back that throw up. Right field came in to back that throw up, and we've got 1 run on, 1 out, and Galvis coming up to the plate.
Strong throw from third base there. That zipped across the diamond.
A little too much, but I think she was trying to rush that throw. That brings up Galvis. Here's the pitch. That ball never curved back around, kind of stayed inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Hard to control that curve. There's 1. Ground ball to short. Could be 2. She fires it over to second. Second baseman has a little trouble getting the ball out of her hand, so is not able to complete the turn. But Walker is out at second as Galvis is safe at first. So there's 2 down and 1 on for Nifid Cobbin.
And the curveball's an interesting pitch. If you can surprise them that it's a strike, it's good. But sometimes that spin makes it easier to pick up to hit.
And hard to control, too, because sometimes if you really have a lot of English on it, when you let it go, if it looks like it's going to be inside and it curves up too much, well, you've just thrown a meatball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nifid Cobbin with a runner at first. Ground ball, third base, up with it. Has time at second, goes there for the out, and it is recorded.
And I think that one was a little close because of the wet turf. It took a while to get over there.
It did, yeah. You're absolutely right there. Normally, if there hasn't been as much moisture, that's maybe a little less close of a play. It did kind of look like it took forever for that ball to get there. But that's the 3rd out. Galvis is forced at second as Nifid Cobbin hit into the fielder's choice. That goes 5-4. When we come back with DC Swag, it'll be Megan, Shady, and Tiemann as we flip the lineup card. Still no score here as we head into the top of the 3rd inning in this D Division Championship game.
It is probably getting hot down there with this sun and that turf. It wasn't even really cool when it rained, but now that the sun's out, it could be scorching down there. Usually that turf is a good 10 or 15 degrees hotter once the sun's out. And we've got Cleats and Cleavage coming up to bat. And just over the shortstop, running to first, looks like a base hit. They're trying to get her at first, but she beats the throw. So Cleats and Cleavage with the runner on first.
Folks, as promised, we're going to bring you an update on that B Division Championship game that's gone to the IF game. We will let you know here just as soon as we have an update for it. It has started. It is underway. There's a line drive right off the pitcher's glove. Still have a force play, but not able to recover in time. As Bega is safe at second, and Barron is safe at first.
Those are tough. If you catch the line drive, it's an amazing play. Sometimes when you knock it down, though, it just depends if it goes in front of you or behind you.
There's a line shot to left field. That'll bring Bega to third. She's going to hold there, not wanting to challenge the arms of those outfielders as Miranda's aboard. And now the bases are full to cleats and cleavage again. The second time in 3 innings they have had this. This time nobody out though. So we might just be breaking that seal here. Here's the first pitch. There's a fly ball, deep left center field. That ball's going to drop into the gap. We're going to see Vega score. Barron rounds third, comes home. And they're going to be breaking the seal there, scoring 2 as Miranda heads the third, and Staley Melnick gets the second on the big 2-run double into left center field.
Good hit, but good play to get that ball back quickly. I thought more than 2 might score on that one.
2 runs in there. Now for cleats and cleavage. There's the fly ball. That looks like it could be caught, and it is. Great play by that right fielder who was hustling in, rushing in to get that out. Now we've got 1 out and runners at second and third. 2 in already for Garcia Valerio, the shortstop.
Little surprised they didn't try to get that run home from third, but they might have scouted the arm and thought better of it.
There's a ground ball to second. She's up with it, gets the out at first. Meanwhile, Miranda's able to come in to score. And now there's a 3-0 lead. Staley Melnick heads to third. As Garcia Valerio is out. Here comes another fly ball to right field. And that ball is caught as Garcia Zeller is out on the play that goes F10. So that right fielder working hard.
Doing a good job out there. And in lots of divisions, actually, people tend to try to hit to right, think it's a good place, because sometimes you got to put your least strong outfielder out there, but no weakness out there. Great catches.
So DC Swag will come up. We've got Megan and Sahadi.
Visitors 3. Visitors have 3.
Oh, sorry. So we're being told there's a scoreboard malfunction out there. So the umpire's pointing that out, that John Bowders is saying that the scoreboard operator is a little stressed, a little tired. That's our friend Tara Burns up in here. There's a fly ball to left center field that's going to be caught by that outstanding play. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, by cleats and cleavage as he backpedals, and just at the last second sticks that arm up, and look what I found.
Yep, that was a good play to get back there.
Because that ball would go for a bit, and Megan would have been off to the races, but all for naught as the left center fielder had it under control. There's a shot right to the third base glove. Nice line drive, but also an out.
Two pitches, 2 down.
And that brings up Tiemann. There's almost 3 pitches, 3 down, but Tiemann able to survive that foul out.
And if you saw the umpire's hand go out, that pitch I think was called illegal. And sometimes that call comes too late if you're already planning to swing. Sometimes you just choose to swing anyway because you like the pitch, but often you just don't hear it till your arms are already moving.
Well, and sometimes it's also not vocalized. The signal is what's required, but sometimes you don't hear the umpire say anything. And there we get an out. So 3 up, 3 down as Tiemann flies out to second base. That is F4 is how that's recorded for out number 3. So we've got an update on that Ballers game between Ballers and North Dakota. We're in the third inning, and the Ballers are up 5-2 in that if game. That is 5-2 Ballers over North Dakota in the third inning. So still lots of softball left in that game, and we'll continue to bring you updates as we know them. That grind team can hit, so that 3 runs is nothing.
And we actually saw the Ballers come back from more than that towards the end of that last game, only to give the lead back in the bottom of the 7th.
So it will be Bartholic, Hernandez, and Saladin for the ATX cleats and cleavage. And there's a fly ball deep right field and foul, and in fact, so foul it was out of play. So there's just a, as they say in Major League, it's just a long strike. It's just a long strike.
And it's interesting to see what these batters do here, because another foul ball is a strikeout. So sometimes they pull a little off the swing to get it in the middle of the field.
There's a fly ball. And the ball gets past the right fielder as Hernandez rounds second and heads to third.
She didn't pull off on that one.
Not at all. No, that was Bartholic. Sorry, Bartholic gets to third. Hernandez is coming up.
Right over the outside corner. Nice pitch.
There's a ground ball. Shortstop fires it over to first. The out is recorded, and just like a cat, that first baseman comes off of that.
And here we go again with the great shortstop play in this tournament, Roman.
That is right. So Hernandez is out on the fielder's choice. That goes 6-3. That'll bring up Saladin. There's a line drive off the glove of the shortstop. No play there. She didn't want to risk the throw and let that run come in.
And that was a smart decision, because it was going to be a tough play at first, but definitely the run would have come in if she threw that ball to first.
So Cleats and Cleavage is the home team here. DC Swag is the visiting team, and Cleats and Cleavage have 3 runs, and DC Swag has 0. Here's the pitch. Line drive right into the pitcher's glove for out number 2. She was ready to walk off the field, not realizing that it was only 2, kind of lost track there. Saying, hey, that catch was good enough for 2. It should count for 2 outs.
And there's one off the leg and one right over the head. She must feel like a target out there right now.
That will bring up Schlumberger. There's a pop-up. Second base is calling for it, and look at that. Runners at the corner and nobody out, and they managed to get out of it without giving up a run. With the line drive to the pitcher, the second out, and then Goins pop up to second, the third out. So that'll be Bega coming up when they return. But as we head into the top of the 5th inning, it's DC Swag 0 and ATX Cleats and Cleavage 3.
And it looks like the wind's picking up a little bit out there, blowing again across from left to right, as we saw earlier in the day. Those flags were just down a little earlier, but coming back a little.
Yeah, that wind has definitely picked up. You're correct. That's Walker Leahy. Here's the pitch. And that is a called strike on the inside corner. Good curveball there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Goes after that and fouls that out. That'll be a foul ball. but just barely.
I agreed with you when I saw it. Maybe it was the wind blowing it back a little bit. But
It was. That wind was blowing from left to right. That ball looked like it was ticketed. Yeah, it looks like it was ticketed, but as you can see, those flags waving from left to right, that ball, the wind almost brought that ball back in.
And this pitcher is kind of fun to watch. Wherever she is on that line, she seems to still be trying to get to that inside corner.
That'll bring up Jones. Tripled in her last at bat. Well, Singleton got to third when they had the bases loaded in the first. That pitch is called illegal, didn't hit the height requirement. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jones. Behind Jones is Krasinski. And that one was deep. It did come back around, but it was a little deep to Jones. And she earns herself a 1-out walk.
And sometimes you can curve it right around the plate. It's got to catch a part of that plate. So sometimes that's a problem too with those curved pitches.
Krasinski at the plate now. 1 out, 1 on. There's a ground ball, third base, and foul. So Bowders is behind the plate. John Bowders, he's the umpire there. He's from the San Francisco area. Her Majesty is out there at first base. And then we've got Ashley over on the third base side from Austin, Texas. Those are your umpire crew. Those are your umpires for this D Division championship game. Ground ball short. Up with it is Garcia. Fires a strike over to second, but just down. The second baseman not able to get it, as Jones is safe at second, and Krasinski makes it to third on the fielder's choice and the errant throw. And that will bring up Garcia. So Jones is a speedy runner, and the shortstop felt like she had to rush that throw, and did, and just wasn't able to get it up enough for the second baseman to handle. There's a line shot into left field. Here comes Jones. She's going to get to third quickly, but hold there as the ball gets in quickly from the outfield. That left fielder was all over that. And again, the bases are full of swag, just like in the first inning, and it's the same exact people who were up. So it'll bring Peterson in with only 1 out here. Really anything other than a double play should score a run here, or a strikeout. 2 balls and 1 strike. And 3 balls. No place to put her. She's going to have to reset and come back with a strike here, or a walk will score a run. There's the pitch, and it is outside corner, called strike 2. Peterson not liking that. Thinks that might have been a little generous, but Bowders was right there. He made a correct call. It did catch the corner on that curve. And that is a ball. So Jones will come in on the walk. Krasinski will get to third, and Garcia will go to second, as Peterson took a very close pitch.
Very close.
To earn that walk. That'll bring up Clarissa Walker-Leahy. With 1 run in.
I'm always a little surprised when those batters try to call their own ball 4, because I don't think the umpires like that. I've never thought that they won the call by doing that, but sometimes I wonder if they lose it.
Right? Bases loaded. There's a strike. There's that curveball. Way to come back after that. You walk in a run, and you want to make sure the first thing you do is throw a strike, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's going to move to the other side of the rubber. Throws that one a straight one. Here's a shot to left center field. That's going to be caught. But is it deep enough to score the run? A good, strong throw from that left center fielder will keep Krasinski at third, as Walker-Leahy goes for the sack, but not quite deep enough with the arm strength of that outfielder. So 2 outs here with Walker coming up. And Joel, with bases loaded, these runners are going to be going on contact.
Yep, makes it a little more likely a Signal can score 2 here.
That ball is well inside. Looks like we're in for another close one. There's a ground ball, third base. Nobody at home at third to throw to, so she has to go to second, and she does not get the out. Krasinski will score. Garcia will score, rounding third on the overthrow. Peterson will get to second, hustling it out. And Walker is safe at first, and 3 runs have scored this inning, tying it up 3-3. And of course it would. In the 5th inning, we wouldn't have anything else.
That's right. A nice heads-up base running and coaching to get that second run home there on the little bobble over there.
Now, there wasn't a lot of time. That throw came into home. And there's a hard shot past the glove of the third baseman. Peterson gets the third. She's going to hold there. Walker will hold at second, and Galvis is on at first. And that brings up Nathan Cobbin with the bases loaded and 2 outs. We're in the top of the 5th inning here.
A little bit inside on that pitch for a ball. Still trying to catch that inside corner.
There's a hard ground ball to third. Up with it. And they're going to call the batter out. That was a close play.
It was close. She just won the foot race with the runner coming to third.
Okay, so I'm going to make a correction here. We are now going into the 5th inning. We're still in the bottom of the 4th. Still in the bottom of the 4th. We are still in the bottom of the 4th. Swag is the visiting team. So that brings up cleats and cleavage. We are in the 4th inning. I got the score right, though. Score's tied 3-all. We'll get an update on that Ballers game, Ballers versus North Dakota here soon. Give you another one. Let you know how that B Division championship is going. Ballers were up 5-2 in the 3rd inning, but those North Dakota bats are not quiet. We'll bring you an update here as soon as we get one. So as Cleats and Cleavage takes the plate, it'll be Bega, Barron, and Miranda.
And that one was inside for a ball.
Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop gets the out at first. And Bega is out on the play that goes 6-3. Barron's up, leading off. She's the leadoff hitter for this lineup. There's a fly ball left side and foul.
And on the field, you can see in between the home plate and that pitching line are a couple of pink ribbons, and those are from yesterday, which was ASANA's Breast Cancer Awareness Day here at the World Series.
One ball, 2 strikes. There's a little fly ball to left field, and it is in there for a base hit. So Barron on board with a single. There's a fly ball to shortstop. That looks catchable enough. And the shortstop makes that. Out number 2 here in the top of the 5th.
Didn't look like there was any problem with the sun on that one, so I think with the sunglasses, they're doing okay out there.
That brings up Staley Melnick. And that ball's just a little inside. Lost the grip on it. Here's the pitch. That one is inside as well. A little closer though. 3 balls and 1 strike. Barron is at first. And there's a fly ball. Left center field. That ball is going to drop. Barron's going to round second, head for third as the throw gets into the shortstop. Staley Melnick is aboard with her second single of the game. 2 for 3 now. That'll bring up driver Perez.
Looks like she might have swung at ball 4 there, but I think in the end it was worth it.
Yeah. Was able to fight that inside pitch off. Driver Perez now from the left side. Infielders will adjust accordingly. 2 outs here in the top of 5. DC Swag is the home team. Cleats and Cleavage are the visitors. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back to the pitcher. She recovers, gets it over to first, fires a strike, and that is out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning in a tie ball game, 3-3. As SWAT, we'll see what they can do after the play goes 1-3 for the 3rd out. So when Cleats and Cleavage comes back to start the 6th, it'll be Garcia Valerio, Garcia Zeller, and then Bartholic.
Unbelievable how close these championship games are staying today, Roman.
You know, if you want competitive softball, come to the ASANA Softball World Series on Championship Saturday, and you'll see it. We're still working to get you an update on that North Dakota San Diego B Division Championship game. We'll get it for you just as soon as we have it. That is the if game, so the winner of that will hoist the trophy. We brought you that, if you were watching it, we brought you that really outstanding game as the grind forced an if game.
And if any of you are looking for the clock on this one, the championship games at the ASANA World Series are not timed, so this one is going to go the full 7 innings.
So an update on that North Dakota San Diego game. North Dakota has 4. We're in the top of the 4th. 4 to the San Diego Ballers 7. So San Diego up on that game 7-4 for now. We'll keep an eye on it as that game also is going to go a full 7. New pitcher now for Cleats and Cleavage. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Have a substitution. Have a new pitcher and a new catcher.
And you'll notice this pitcher's actually looks like wearing a mask, which is something more pitchers are doing these days.
And as though on cue, Megan grounds right back to the pitcher. And the play goes 1-3.
And that mask can be the difference between an injury and just a ball off the mask that you get the out anyway. We had a friend of ours who we were told got hit in the face, and she said, "No, my mask was on. I just made the play."
Right. That was a good shot to her face too. That brings up Shady here. Sorry, Sahady. Last batter in this order before we flip the lineup card. And she takes a walk. A 1-out walk to put a runner on for Tiemann here in the bottom of the 5th. So Joel, I believe it was Cleats and Cleavage came out of the winner's bracket.
Yes, I believe it was.
So DC Swag is the home team. If they're able to win this game, they will force an if game, just like we had with the B Division Championship. So Tiemann comes up. It's a fly ball to right center field. That looks like it's going to go right into the right center fielder's glove, who makes the throw to first. And now it's off to the races as Sahady makes it to second on the overthrow.
And I got to give a hat tip to the umpire who was running that from first to second right along with that runner to make sure that that play was covered no matter what.
That's Her Majesty from Portland, gets all the way over there. There's a ground ball, third base, no force, has to come home, or has to go to first base with it, not in time. As Walker Leahy is aboard and Sahady gets the third. So that'll bring up Jones with runners at first and third and 2 outs in a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. No pressure. Take a breath. You're only in the World Series and the championship game. 2 outs and go ahead run at third. And there's a fly ball to left field. And it is a base hit. That was up in the air a long time. Kind of lost in the sun there a little bit, I think. And so Jones comes through.
And it looks like from the plate umpire John's call, it was a foul ball when it was caught.
Oh, I see. So a foul ball. It landed, but it didn't land fair. So Jones will have another shot here. Takes a ball there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Sahady is still at third. There's a fly ball now. Deep fly ball to left center field. The left center fielder's not going to get it. So the run will still score. Walker Leahy rounds second, heads for third. She's going to be waved home. Jones rounds second, heads to third. Here's the throw, and it is not in time as Jones was able to get a sliding triple that scores 2 runs. Walker Leahy and Sahady. So talk about a game of inches. That foul ball came back, and Jones was able to just lay into that ball that got all the way out there past the left center fielder. And SWAT has scored 2 runs here to give the home team a 5-3 lead. Now there's going to be a discussion between the umpires, and they're going to talk about whether or not Jones was out.
And sometimes it's about which umpire had the best angle. It was the umpire down the line was making a safe sign, but it would have been hard for him to see whether the tag hit the back of the runner. So it might have been that an umpire behind had a better. And they overturn the call and make it an out.
And they do, but they do allow the run to score because the run scored before the out. So Walker Leahy's run counts. Sahady's run, of course, counts, but Jones is out on the call. And we head to the top of the 6th.
And kudos to the third baseman on that one. She was backpedaling to get back to the bag and managed to catch the ball and make the tag on the fly. That was an impressive play.
And folks, for you managers at home, that is how you argue a call, by the way. If you don't think the umpire got the call, all you got to do is ask for help. If you do so in a respectful way and you go up and you say, hey, Blue, if you're comfortable with that call, I'm good with it. But if you don't feel like you had the best angle, would you mind asking for some help? That's what happened there. So the Blue called the other 2 umpires in, and they had a little discussion. And sure enough, the other 2 umpires felt that they had a different angle, and they go ahead and reverse the call. So if you're out there and you want to know how to do it, that's how you do it. You're never going to win an argument by yelling at anybody. Courtesy and sportsmanship go a long way.
And the Blues are out there, or the Pinks today, but they're out there to get it right, and they are always trying to make the right call. They'll take the time to get it right if they can.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Garcia Valerio, as Cleats and Cleavage tries to get those 2 back. Good defensive play, though, to get Jones, by the way. Kind of lost in all of that was the really good recovery. So the left center fielder lost the ball over her head. She tried to run to go get it and then got the ball in, and then a strong throw to third was able to get the out there. And now Garcia Valerio takes a strike, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a hard ground ball left the middle, and Garcia Valerio is going to be safe at first. That ball kind of gets away from the center fielder, though, and Garcia Valerio is going to steal that bag. So a little bit of extra hustle as Cleats and Cleavage wants to get those runs back.
Good hustle to get to second, and good backup from the right center fielder to make sure it wasn't anything more than that. That ball could have gone to the wall.
And Garcia Valerio is going to say, thank you very much, I'm done running now. I got to second, I did my job, so I'm going to tag out for somebody else. That'll bring up Garcia Zeller now with a runner at second and nobody out. That ball was deep, so 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a ground ball right up the middle. Here comes the runner from third. They're going to hold her. No, she's going to be off to the races. The outfielder didn't field that ball cleanly, so Garcia Valerio's run will score, courtesy of the fast legs of the pinch runner that went in. And Cleats and Cleavage gets one of those runs back to make it a 1-run ball game here in the top of the 6th.
And a little frustration there by the left center fielder throwing her glove, but I think she's just trying to come in and charge hard and get that ball in the first hop, and is just sliding under because she wants to get the ball in so fast.
Meanwhile, Bartholic will hit a ground ball that goes foul. So that was an interesting one. It had an awful lot of English on it. It landed just inside the first base and then took a right turn.
Took a right turn, and I almost thought it hit the first baseman, in which case it would have been fair, but if it did it once it had already crossed that line.
So Bartholic has nobody out and a runner at first. Umpire called that pitch illegal, but Bartholic goes after it anyway, and it's in the glove of the right fielder for out number 1. That'll bring up Hernandez, who singled in the first inning but hit into a fielder's choice in the second inning, or in her second at bat. Batting from the right side with 1 out and 1 on. That ball is short. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a fly ball right field. Right into the glove of the right fielder for out number 2. The ball looked like it was going to travel a little bit farther than that, but as those flags are now at full span left to right, that ball was knocked down just a little bit.
And they've been testing that right fielder, and she's been up to the challenge.
Have it that. That'll bring up Saladin. Here's the pitch. Called a ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike. Ground ball, shortstop. Will it be 2? Ups. Oh, it didn't need to be 2. Lost track of the outs there like the pitcher did a minute ago. 1 run comes in for cleats and cleavage, but the home team, DC Swag, still holding on to that 1-run lead as we head into the bottom of the 6th.
And that if game is one way to get some free softball, but the other way is if it's a tie at the end of 7, we will go into extra innings with the international tiebreaker rule, where the innings start with a runner on second.
This is a good time to remind you that today's games are brought to you by Dirt Athletics, your premier choice for event apparel. A key ASANA partner for 11 years. If you've been to an ASANA tournament, chances are you've come home with dirt on you. If you're looking to upgrade the hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and shorts for your event, find out what Dirt can do for you. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/dirtathletics. So this D Division championship between the DC SWAT and the Cleats and Cleavage is shaping up to be everything we'd expected. If you stuck with us throughout this broadcast, you've seen some pretty solid defense and some pretty good hitting. As Krasinski hits a ground ball to second, who bobbles it a little bit but is able to recover in time to get the out. And that'll bring up Garcia as that play goes 4-3.
Definitely helped that she charged that ball, gave her a little more time to make that throw.
And you expect to see a little bit of trouble gripping the ball as these fields got soaked just about an hour and a half ago.
I believe somebody mentioned they redid these after Katrina and the weather, and they did a nice job to have these ready for rain.
There's a ground ball, third base, up with it. What a great play. What a great play by that third baseman as Garcia was hustling down the line, and that play goes 5-3. Her Majesty was all over that call.
Huge arm from third base. That was another bullet.
We got another update on that B Division if game for you. Bottom of 5, the Ballers have had a little bit of an offensive explosion, scoring 5 runs, so it is now 12-4, Ballers over North Dakota. As we have a ground ball here to second by Peterson, and all 3 balls, 2 went to the third base, 1 went to the third baseman, the other 2, first and third, went to the second baseman, who was playing solid defense there as we head to the bottom. Check that as we head to the top of the 7th inning. So here's how it works here. These softball games go 7. So the DC SWAT are just 3 outs away from forcing an if game, and the cleats and cleavage are 3 outs away from needing. Sorry, DC Swag. I've been calling him DC SWAT all day. I apologize. It is DC Swag. DC Swag. Please don't yell at me on Facebook if you haven't already been.
And we didn't make that up out of nowhere. There was another team called the SWAT earlier.
And Joel, guess who's up?
No idea.
It's Schlumberger. Here we go. Here's the pitch. And Schlumberger, it's a beautiful single from the left side right up the middle into the outfield and is safe. At first, that'll bring up Goins, and then it's Vega.
Should we say that Schlumberger was well done?
Oh, I will let you live with that one. She's a baller, though, most definitely. That brings up Goins also from the left side. She gets a hold of this one, goes right back to first, and they double off Schlumberger. What a beautiful play by the pitcher to get the double play there.
You know, it is not easy to catch that liner coming that fast, but to be ready, check yourself, and get that ball to first to get that out is not easy. That's a tremendous play and a huge lift of this team that now just needs one more out.
To force an if game, and heads up to that first baseman who got on that bag in a hurry. Great job. So Swag now just one more out away from being able to force an if game. Here's the pitch. Called a strike. 1 strike away now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Of course it would be. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on for Vega. There's a ground ball, shortstop. She hustles down the line. Shortstop's up with it, fires it over to first in time, and we are going to go to an if game. As the play goes 5-3, this D Division Championship, there's still more softball to play.
And we talked about it earlier. It's hard to know who has the advantage in this if game because winning 2 in a row is not easy, but sometimes losing that first one is a little bit deflating.
While we reset here, we're going to get another update on that B Division Championship game.
And I think it's going to be the same umpires for the if game. It looks like they're already getting ready to talk to the teams.
That they are. And folks, we're staying right here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to bring this game to you live. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut down. We're going to shut down here just long enough to reset so that this game will conclude, and then we'll log in right back again. So if you're watching at home, we are going to bring this game to you. But before we sign off on this game, I have another update for you on that B Division if game. It is 12-6, top of 6, ballers still up. So for right now, we're going to shut down, reset, come back. So if you're on Facebook or YouTube, go get a sandwich, come right back, because we're going to be right back here with the if game of the DC Swag, and I promise I'll get that right, against the Cleats and Cleavage from Austin, Texas. We're signing off for now on the Cloud Sports Network here at the 2018 ASANA Softball World Series.